guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sam, and today I am doing a video on how my husband's open work permit got refused. So stay with me, I'll be right back. Alright, so yeah, I have my laptop with me and I'm going to read the reasons. So it was two reasons, and I'm going to read the reasons with you as to why they said his open work permit was refused. So the first reason stated, the compensation in bracket, monetary or other, indicated in your job offer and your assets and financial situation are insufficient to support the stated purpose of travel for yourself and any accompanying family members if applicable. So this was the first reason that they stated why his visa was denied or refused, whatever it is. And then the second reason just says you do not have significant family ties outside of Canada. All right. These two reasons that they denied his application for is totally ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you how I responded to these reasons or what I did differently in resubmitting his application. So guys, I submitted his application from June, last year, June. Was it June? Yeah. And I didn't get a response until November 4th. So June, July, August, September, October, November. So roughly about 5 months. And when I get the response, of course, you know, it was a refusal. And which ripped me apart because it is ridiculously insane. You're waiting for 5 months and then only to be told that they were refused. Everybody know that the processing time is long. Well, it was long. I'm not sure if it is still long at the moment, but it was very long. All right, so in my letter, I'm going to read my letter and to tell you how I address the issues. I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to read the part that relates to, if you know what I mean. So in my first part, I just says, my name is Dash, which is my husband's name. I previously applied for an open work permit, and I put the permit number in bracket, on June 16, 2022. However, my wife and I were deeply saddened when I was refused on November 3rd, 2022. So it wasn't November 4th, it was November 3rd that he got the refusal, whatever. We are thankful for the opportunity that was extended for me to reapply after addressing the concerns I highlighted. I am therefore reapplying, and I hope that I have significantly addressed the reasons for the refusal. So you know, you want to show them that you're thankful, you don't want to seem upset, you just want to address the issues. But before you jump into the issues, then you just want to, give them a little bit of information. Then I went on to say, this application for an open work permit is in order to provide physical and emotional support to my wife as she completes her course of studies. We both have become more aware of how difficult it can be to reside temporarily and study in another country without any family or support system. And then I said, I'm not going to read. I'm going to skip that paragraph. Then I said, as previously stated in my first application, my wife, was successful in gaining admission to the Cape Breton University in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and was granted approval for a study permit to facilitate her study. Her program of study is postbaccalaureate diploma in business management, and the length of study is 2 years, which she commenced on September 7th, 2022. We are greatly appreciative of her approval. Then now I go into the reasons why he was refused. So I read the first reason earlier, but I'm gonna read it again. So it says the compensation indicated in your job offer and assets and financial situations are insufficient to support the stated purpose of travel for yourself and any accompanying family members if applicable. So I copied that just as it is written in the letter that they sent. I retype that part in this letter and I italic it so they can see it. I put it in brackets, and then below that I stated, I have been employed by the government of Jamaica for 8 years as Dash, and I am also employed with Dash on a contractual basis for over 2 years, which have afforded us the opportunity to gain financial stability. We live a very simple life and live within our means. As such, our income has been adequate to take care of our family. My job has made me a very well-rounded individual, as I have been given the opportunity to not only give service to external customers, which are the citizens of Jamaica, but I also give services to internal customers. I'm not going to read any more of that because it is giving personal information about his job. And I write some more stuff about his job, guys. I don't want to get into that part. So just write what is it that you did, how you survive. Because when they said, in your job offer, your assets, financial situation are insufficient. I don't know what job offer they're talking about because he did not receive a job offer. And then I was wondering if it was his job letter that they were making reference to, but I figured that it was not because somebody else got rejected for the same exact reason and that person was not employed. So I don't know what offer they were making reference to. So I don't know. So I went on to say, because they're talking about financial resources, financial assets, whatever. So in the letter, I went on to say, because I wrote my husband letter, guys. So yeah, I went on to say, my wife and I have always been saving, and as such, we have set aside X amount for living expenses in Canada. I have X amount in my NCB savings account, separate and apart from my wife's proof of funds. As stated on the IRCC website, the applicant should show 10,000 Canadian dollars in living expenses for the first year. My wife and I have additional funds in our VM-based joint bank account, which is equivalent to X Canadian dollars. I also have pension contribution in the amount of Dash, which will be available to me. My wife has additional finances of Dash Canadian in her Canadian bank account, and we have X amount in investments and pension income, which is all available to us. My wife and I own X properties jointly, which is a major asset in our own country and achievement for us. Proof of banking information and house title are attached for your reference. So that was how I address the first issue. Right. Now, the second reason for refusal. They said you do not have significant family ties outside of Canada. Guys, this is the reason why I know that they did not go through his application. They just reject his application and just put some reasons there. Because one, in the first application, I made sure that we mentioned that he didn't have any family in Canada. And we also made mention that his siblings and his dad reside in Jamaica. And when they put the second reason to say that you do not have significant family ties outside of Canada, then I find it like, I don't understand what do they mean. Anyways, how I address this part is, I said, all my families, which is my husband's families, including my father, 2 sisters, 6 brothers, grandmother, and grandfather, reside in Jamaica. It has never been my intention to travel. Hence, I had never applied or thought of applying for a visa prior to this application, even though my wife had traveled to the United States quite a few times. My main reason for applying is to provide emotional and moral support to my wife since we have decided to take this big step for her to continue her educational aspiration in Canada. The decision to make such a big step was definitely a very difficult one for both of us. However, it was for her career advancement, which will be beneficial for us as a family in our home country. I know it is difficult for her to be away from her family for 2 years, just as it is for me being separated from her. So that is basically how I address that part of the situation. And then, of course, I took some parts of the previous letter that I would have done for the first application and I put it back here. And then upon ending, we just say we are aware of our obligations as permit holders and will abide by all laws set forth. My wife and I express sincere thanks for the opportunity to reapply and for considering this application. All supporting documents to aid this application are attached. Guys, that's all I did. And I did not attach, I did not show any additional means of funds. No, the proof of fund was the same. We did not increase it or anything. And we didn't do anything different. And this is the reason why I think this thing is a whole money-making thing, because they just refuse people sometimes for no solid reason, and just for you to reapply because they're making money when they do that. So, with that being said, I always tell myself that if I was, even when I was applying for myself, I would not apply for any GSM notes. I would just go ahead and reapply. I wouldn't even wait. I would just go straight ahead and reapply. Because like I said, most of the times the reason that they give you as to why they reject your application, sometimes it's not legit. Sometimes they reject your application and they just put something on the letter because they know they have to put something there. So I didn't apply for any GSM notes for him. I just went straight ahead. They rejected him on the 3rd of November and I reapplied on the 26th. And I was gonna reapply the same week, but the devil is a liar. After I sat down and I gathered everything, like I put everything together for the application, I couldn't find it. I was using my thumb drive and I don't know what happened, if I accidentally deleted the folder, but for some reason I lost everything. The letter of explanation, the supporting, I lost everything, guys. And I was at one point in time, I feel like I was gonna lose it because it took me so much time to put everything together and knowing that I had to start back from scratch. So word to the wise, when you're doing an application, do not do it from a thumb drive. Do it from your laptop, then you can save a copy to your thumb drive or you can email yourself. Because one thing, when you lose things from thumb drive or a hard drive, that whichever you call it, trust me, if you're not an expert, IT expert, you will never find that document because I didn't find it. I have to do over everything from scratch. So I send in the application back on the 26th of November. And when I reapply on November 26th, he gets his approval on the 26th of January. So it took exactly 2 months. And something I was telling persons in one of my videos that you need to be careful of what you post on social media, because I remember the 24th of January. You know, when you have a LinkedIn account, if somebody view your profile, it will tell you who view your profile. It gives you a limit to show how many persons view your profile and who viewed your profile. And then I got an alert from LinkedIn saying that someone viewed my account or my profile. So I went to check to see who it was, and to my surprise, it was IRCC. And I was like, why would IRCC be checking my LinkedIn profile? That's strange, because it wasn't my application, it was my husband's application. So I guess they couldn't find my husband on social media. So because my husband doesn't use social media, so I guess they were looking me up, look to see if there was anything with him, or I don't know. So I called like so many persons. So I was like, you know that IRCC is actually looking me up on LinkedIn? And then I knew from that moment that my husband's application was processing. And 2 days after, which was on the 26th, he got his approval. So don't waste your time and your money for GSM notes. because one, it takes forever. I know people apply for that same JSM notes and it took them months to receive it. So don't waste your time. Just address the issues as best as you can and just go ahead and reapply. Don't wait. Just reapply. You never can tell. So when you're determined, you have to be determined. You have to do what you have to do or what needs to be done. So you can't just because you got denied, you are demotivated or whatever like that. You need to just get back up, brush yourself off and do another application. I know because you have to, it is expensive because you have to pay for everything. And if you apply for your children and yourself and you get denied, you know that your child automatically is going to be denied as well. So just reapply. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. All right, bye.